Chapter 11 is one of the most beautiful chapters that I have narrated on FOV Sense. It is so visual and I can simply close my eyes and feel God's blessings as I narrate these lovely words. And sometimes I think the most important questions in life are the ones we need to ask ourselves. We have 24 hours and we have extremely limited time to survive, and in this limited time, the one feeling that all of us could experience is experiencing God in His divine form. Now Arjuna addresses Krishna as Yogeshwar, the Ishvara of yogis. The Bhagavad Gita is a book of the description of 18 yogs. Now what is yoga? Yoga is the science of uniting the individual soul with the Supreme Soul. And those who practice this science are called yogis. So the word Yogeshwar also means Lord of all yogis. Since the object of attainment of all yogis is the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna is consequently the Lord of all yogis. Now Krishna grants Arjuna's request and asks Arjuna to behold his universal form with infinite shapes and colors. Sri Krishna now asks Arjuna to observe the celestial gods and other wonders in that cosmic form. All the marvels in this universe are visible in the divine form of Sri Krishna. The cosmic form of God revealed unusual wonders, marvels and miracles in all directions, transcending the limitations of space and time. And so it could be aptly termed as wondrous. In that cosmic form, Arjuna saw unlimited faces and eyes, decorated with many celestial ornaments and wielding many kinds of divine weapons. He wore many garlands on his body and was anointed with many sweet-smelling heavenly fragrances. He revealed himself as the wonderful and infinite Lord whose face is everywhere. The radiance of Sri Krishna has been compared with that of 1,000 suns ablaze, just for reference to understand and imagine the power of the brilliance of God. Now Arjuna saw the totality of existence in the locality of Sri Krishna's body. He beheld the entire creation of infinite universes with their manifold divisions of galaxies and planetary systems in a more fraction of the body of the Supreme Lord. Yashoda had experienced a similar vision when she had asked naughty little Krishna to open his mouth when gopis complained to her about Krishna stealing their butter. Now Yashoda was astonished and could not hold herself when she realized that standing before her, who she was scolding, was a divine child. The mere imagination of Yashoda's experience can make any person, especially mothers, have goosebumps. Becoming stupefied, sweating, goosebumps, choking of the voice, trembling, ashen complexions, shedding tears and fainting. These are the physical symptoms by which intense love in the heart sometimes does manifest. Now this is what Arjuna experienced when he was struck with astonishment and reverence on seeing Sri Krishna's divine form. Arjuna describes his experience as best as he can. He says he's seeing the endless form of Krishna and can see all the gods within him. You are without beginning, middle or end. Your power has no limits. Your arms are infinite. The sun and moon are like your eyes, and fire is like your mouth. I see you warming the entire creation by your radiance, says Arjuna. Now Arjuna sees all the warriors on the battlefield entering Krishna's mouth just as the rivers enter the ocean to eventually lose their identity. Slowly, Arjuna was engulfed with fear on seeing the terrifying side of God, the destructive aspect of God. He then begs Krishna to return to his original form, just as his dear friend. In general, we all like to see our near and dear ones in the same form that we can associate with them easily. Let me give you a good example. Mr. Amitabh Bachchan may be a superstar for the world and his admirers, but is loved as a father and husband by his own children and wife not as the superstar. So, the knowledge of the celebrity status of the beloved gets immersed in the loving sentiments of the family members. Now, the same phenomenon takes place in devotion to God. Arjuna asks Krishna again who he is and begs him to return to his usual self. Arjuna wants to start loving Krishna as his dear friend again and does not want to see him in this divine form, which first brought astonishment to him but gradually led him to feel terrified. Arjuna praises Krishna as best as he can and also seeks forgiveness from Krishna, as he has always treated him as a friend and might have been disrespectful to him in the past. Krishna explains to Arjuna that he has already decided when and how all these mighty warriors on the battlefield will meet the end. Arjuna only is the instrument to ensure that the end happens. Even if Arjuna does not pick up his Gandiv bow and fight the war, all these warriors will die as they are destined to be slain. God does not need the help of a human for his work, but humans attain eternal welfare by working to fulfill God's wish. Opportunities that come our way to accomplish something for the pleasure of the Lord is a very special blessing. It is by taking these opportunities that we attract His special grace and achieve our permanent position as a servant of God. Sri Krishna also encourages Arjuna to be his instrument by reminding him of the exceptional skills he has received in the art of archery by his grace. Very often we humans feel dejected with several obstacles or failures in our life. We often wish to give up, don't we? It may be something as simple as not being able to keep up with maybe a fitness goal. At such times, it is the role of a teacher who acts as a motivator and does not allow us to give up. Now, Krishna did the same. Each one of us needs someone who can lift us up at the right time when we need it. Krishna could have given the knowledge of the Gita before the Mahabharata war also, but he did not do so because the circumstance and the situation was not created for the same. Any knowledge bestowed upon earlier would not have had the same impact as it had when Arjuna was completely dejected, deluded, and gave up his weapons as he did not want to fight his teacher and grandfather. One must be aware and must believe that none of us can ever work or achieve anything alone, nor can anything happen without the grace of God. Everything in this world is a joint effort of several people and events. In a football match, if Ronaldo kicks a goal and takes the team to victory, this is not his effort alone that has made the team victorious. It is the effort of every player who passed the ball to him. Every player of the opponent team who was unable to take that ball and the right moment when all the facilities of Ronaldo supported him to be able to shoot the goal exactly into that net. Every achievement of a person in life is exactly the same. No one can claim total credit for their achievements. This will only rob them of being humble, a quality that must be developed by each one of us in abundance. The moment we hand over the credit of doership on a supreme power and other supporting sources, I believe we live an equipoised and humble life. The point I'm trying to make is, humility is a quality we all need to develop in our everyday lives. When Krishna returns to his pleasant normal form that Arjuna is habituated to, Arjuna regains his composure and he is still recovering from the after effects of the mind-boggling experience that he's had. Now, having shown Arjuna the cosmic form and having praised it as being unavailable to anyone but him, Sri Krishna does not want to slacken his love for the personal form of God. So, Krishna says, the way in which Arjuna sees God is exceedingly rare. He emphasizes that even celestial gods want to realize God in his two-armed personal form as he is standing before Arjuna. This is not possible by any amount of Vedic studies, austerities, or fire sacrifices or rituals. The basic spiritual knowledge is that God cannot be known by the strength of one's efforts. However, those who engage in devotion to Him become recipients of His grace, and then by virtue of that grace, they are easily able to know Him. Thank you so much for listening to us. This, I believe, was one of the most important chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. Devotion alone will unite us with God. Devotion alone will help us see Him. Devotion alone will help us attain Him. God is enslaved by true devotion, which is the best of all paths. Those who perform all their duties for my sake, who depend upon me, are devoted to me, who are free from attachment and without any malice towards all beings. Such devotees certainly come to me. With this, the end of chapter 11 sets the precedence of the next and most powerful chapter, which discusses Bhakti Yoga. Please let us know what you feel about this chapter. Comment, like, and feel free to subscribe to our channel.